Okay, good people. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. I want to touch up on the video before last. Okay, so me and Lynn is dating. I did a little brief violation for failure to show up for report to parole. I really didn't mind. I only had 6 months left to my whole bid, so I went and did my 6 month violation. While I was in there, I had an apartment in the Bronx. I had a car I had bought, and I left my apartment with my brother, and I left the car with Lynn. And so between those two people, when I got out of jail, all my stuff was moved to Virginia. So when I got out, I went straight to Virginia. I came out to New York, but I went straight to Virginia afterwards. So me and Lynn is dating, and actually, no sooner than I got out, she got pregnant with my twins. So, of course, I was in the grind. I was doing my thing, getting this money right and all. My twins wound up coming in 2000. So 2000 for me was a very make it or break it year, in a sense that I had a brand new expedition. My license was suspended, so I wasn't driving too much. People would come pick me up, take me everywhere I wanted to go, and that was good by me. Lynn kept the expedition because she was pregnant with the twins, and I definitely needed her to be able to get around. So she used the expedition. And so I clearly remember, clear as day, my twins was on the way. Lynn was upstairs asleep, and I was downstairs just getting high. And I like to say, well, I used to say something, but I know God. Just told you, just put something on our spirit. Look out the window. So I look out the window. There's a woman in my driver's side. Ponytail, baseball cap on, white woman. She's looking over my visors, doing something under the dash, and it freaked me out. So I go take a hammer to my pager and my cell phone, smash that up into pieces, and then I wound up calling the stash house and freaking her out. And no sooner I hung up with them and told them to get rid of everything, they called back the house. Now Lynn is up, and she's all the way in tune to everything that's going on. She's asking me why this person called and okay. So the cat is out of the bag about the stash house and what some of the company I was keeping in Charlottesville. So I had money for people all up top, all over New York, everywhere, all over the place. But I told everybody, look, I can't get nothing to you. It's shut down right now, and it was. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't move or anything. So I went cold turkey. I felt like I had heat on me. I didn't want to bring my heat on to nobody else, so I went cold turkey. My dad had just finished. Well, he had been out of the feds for some time. I had a lawyer in Richmond. Called my dad first. My dad told me, whatever they got, son, don't give them no more to go on. Shut it down. Talked to the lawyer. The lawyer told me the same thing in different words. That's all I had to hear. So I shut it down. Went cold turkey. Didn't touch anything. Didn't want to be around anything. Didn't want anyone to be around me to get any of the heat I had on me. I know a lot of people are weirded out. A lot of people didn't understand what was going on with me, why I was acting weird. I was acting weird because I had heat on me and I didn't want it to rub off on anybody. So then I wound up So, following that incident, everywhere I went, I would notice I was being followed. I had a friend come in and do a whole bug sweep at our house. The minute he plugged my phone into his little system, it beeped, went crazy. It would tell me my phone was compromised. And I honestly felt like that it was only a matter of time before they came and got me. So I wound up, Lynn was pregnant with the kids was almost here. I didn't go around nobody, didn't want to be didn't want anyone around me, so my income was on hold. I went about a good year with no income coming in, just putting out a bunch of money. I had twins, two of everything, had a household, had car notes, insurance, had family, everything I was making, I was putting out. So, but it was cool because at least I was taking care of what I normally take care of. But it freaked me out. So, whole year went by, and actually, within that year, I moved back up to New York for about 4 months, and I would come back and forth from New York to Virginia, just working. I came back to New York to work with my boy in the construction field. So I came back and worked with him for a bit, and then when I got my money back up, I came back to Virginia. At this time, I had started working at Maryland, building kitchen and bathroom cabinets. So yeah, I know I backtracked.
Continue straight for 1 hour and 36 minutes to Kings Dominion Boulevard.
Kitchen and bathroom cabinets, and then my twins were born, and I was local. I was home already. My twins was born, which I knew right then in my heart. I wanted to be out here for my kids. I didn't want to be locked up in no one's jail. I didn't want to be nowhere dead. I was on a mission. I wanted to be here for my kids. They changed. That was the first serious change that I noticed in myself, that them kids meant everything, and everything for me to be out here for them. I didn't want anybody else raising my kids or supporting my kids, so I went cold turkey, got a job, did everything I had to do to be here. So I'm working at Maryland, doing the hardware initially. Then I graduated to doing a few other things. Then I went to building kitchen and bathroom cabinets. And there was a gentleman who had recently found Christ, and he was excited. I'm talking about, like, I would hear like the enthusiasm come off his voice when he talked about Christ. It was moving. And prior to that, I would hear gospel songs and I would get excited, but I couldn't cry, couldn't really feel anything. I don't know if it's behind my injury, if it's behind just life and everything, but I would hear gospel songs and I would get welled up, but nothing would come. And so, I wound up hearing him talking, and he invited me into the church once or twice. And I kept putting it off, and finally decided that I was going to take him up on the offer. I came to visit the church, and I sat in the parking lot for a bit, just gathering myself and getting my nerve up. And as I walked towards that church door, I had all kind of emotions welling up in me. And as I got closer to that door, it just stirred more and more. And once I hit that door, I still had crazy emotions coming. But one of the emotions I can remember most was just relief. it felt like God was talking to me. Finally, son, this is what I kept you for. This is what I made sure you survived all that stuff for, so you can come to me. And when I crossed that threshold, actually, I stood right there in that threshold to that church for a while, and the floodgates opened. I cried and cried and cried, and when I crossed that threshold, I think I went to a personal transformation, and I felt so many different emotions, but one of the emotions I can remember most is just feeling like, like I had finally arrived to see what my Father wanted me to do. So then I really got focused on doing everything I can right for Christ, and one of the things I noticed I was doing was I was living in sin. Had children, wasn't married, was living with this woman and all. We had recently joined the church. So what I learned about decisions is I was because I was so focused on walking a certain way and doing what I needed to do, I stopped listening to what I wanted and what I needed. And so that's what came of it. It was I married just to please everyone. And me and Lynn was already going through all kind of issues, all kind of trust issues and everything, and so we never addressed it. Only thing we did was put a Band-Aid on it and then get married on top of it, so it just went even more crazy. So I eventually can say, yes, I brought my family to Christ, but it was a mess. It still was a mess. So, me and Lynn would be at each other's neck, would be each other's throat, just the fighting and all. And so, but we had a lot of good times. We went through a lot. We survived a lot. But it was my very first time I wanted to be around for Mikey. Situation changed that. So, but I wanted to make sure I was here for these twins. So I did everything, changed everything I could to be here for them. Like I said, I didn't want anybody else raising my kids and all, so I changed everything I could to accommodate that, to make sure I was there for them. And I'm still here today, so I guess I made the right decision. I ain't nowhere near with no kingpin charge. I ain't nowhere locked up and going through it, so I feel I made the right decision. So, well, I touched on the subject I wanted to touch on today. Tomorrow's another day. Be blessed. Love somebody. Do something for somebody. Love you all. Peace.